individual differences in second language acquisition. So what are the individual differences in second language acquisition? We talked about until now some of the internal and external factors that might affect second language acquisition. We would now move on to a paper, and the focus of this paper is a brief overview of the individual differences that the learners bring to the classroom. And these learner differences are actually three. At least these are three types of differences or three dimensions of differences that have been discussed in this article. The first learner difference pertains to the differences in learning styles. So how do the learners actually employ different types of or prefer certain types of learning styles? How do they actually prefer learning the second language? By listening to it, by writing down what they listen, and what types of styles do actually evoke or somehow facilitate their learning, appeals to their cognitive ability, and enables them to memorize it. Then we will look at the dimension of learner strategies. What are the different strategies or what are the different ways that the learners employ to learn a language? How do they actually differ from each other behaviorally? So to learn a second language. And the third difference that this article looks at is affective difference or the difference of affective variables. Affective, as you would by now know, relates to emotional differences and the issue of anxiety, the issue of being involved, all of these relating to emotions, how relaxed you are, how anxious you are, what makes you anxious, what makes you sort of like happy about learning. All those affective variables have an impact on the language learning eventually. And this paper actually provides a sort of like an overview of where the field is going of these individual differences in second language acquisition, and from where are we moving now? So what is going on in the field right now and where is it taking us? Now, being teachers, you might be thinking that what do I have to do with individual learner differences? Why should I bother about individual learners' differences when actually within a classroom it is a group of students that I have to deal with? So I have to teach them as a group. I have the same syllabi. I have the same textbook. I have the same set of instructions that I have to give to my learners. So even if there are individual differences, which of course they are, then what should I do about it and what can I do about it in any case? The important thing over here is to keep in mind that these individual differences affect second language acquisition. And Bourdieu would say, Pierre Bourdieu, a philosopher and a researcher in education, would say that all that the teachers have to do to create inequality in their classrooms is to teach equally. That means that if we try to give the same thing or same set of instructions exactly the same to everyone, then we create inequality because the syllabus has been designed at some sort of keeping in mind the average student. So the student that is above average and the one that is below average in terms of learning development or other reasons would not be helped by this syllabus. So we need to understand the nature of these individual differences, and from then on only we can think about how to resolve this problem.